When I did a beach cleanup, every year there's this coastal cleanup day in September, and you go out to the beach and you get your garbage trash bags and you pick up the garbage, but you have to record every single piece of garbage that you pick up. And I can tell you, the most common item I picked up were cigarette butts. Eesh. And they're composed of cellulose acetate, a form of plastic that can persist in the environment for 10 to 12 years. An estimated 4.5 trillion non-biodegradable cigarette butts are littered worldwide. Now, the next most significant offender of floatable litter is litter that contains polystyrene. You know, those clamshells, you go and you get takeout food, packing peanuts, that sort of thing. Well, when ingested by animals who mistake it for food, polystyrene can poison and or clog stomachs, leading to death by either toxicity or starvation. Once released into the environment, polystyrene will never, ever decompose into a recognizable form, ever. And six-pack rings, those plastic rings that encase, soda and beer, they're estimated to cause 6 million seabird deaths a year and over 100,000 marine mammal deaths. And the plastic used to create the rings takes 450 years just to break down. Granted, it's not breaking down into a substance that life on this planet even knows what to do with. And just so you know about plastic bags, the plastic bags you get, when you go to the store, there's over 500 billion plastic bags currently used worldwide. That's almost 1 million per minute. Single-use bags made of high-density polyethylene, or HDPE, they're the main culprit. Once brought into existence to tote your purchases, they'll accumulate and persist on our planet for up to 1,000 years. And I have a bunch of other statistics if you want to know, but I'm going to kind of skip over them. We're really at a crossroads in our civilization. Up to this point, life has evolved to better metabolize very specific substances. Now, those that life is not designed to ingest or metabolize can cause some minor problems such as cancer and death. How many of you have known somebody who's had cancer? Raise your hand. Wow, I thought there would have been more. Anyway, I don't want to get too far afield, but suffice it to say, we've opened up quite a Pandora's box with our creations. We've created substances that will persist in the environment forever, which are completely unfamiliar to our bodies. It's plastics. As a matter of fact, they're developing plastics right now that will self-heal, meaning they will never, ever break. They will never, ever decompose, ever. Now, we're slowly realizing the dangers that plastics are causing in our life. Ever hear of hormone disruptors? But yet, what are we going to do? There's not a single one of us that isn't dependent upon plastic. Unfortunately, that's the way it is right now. But let's go back. Let's go back to consciousness. Now, intellectually, most people have an idea of what consciousness is, but a far smaller percentage have a deep understanding of it, really know what it is. Now, as you all, I'm sure, are aware, there are many levels to consciousness. There's a level of consciousness that can be achieved through sensory perception, eyes, nose, ears, mouth, touch. And we really see this in babies. They stick their toes in their mouth, want to pick up things, taste everything. That's their intro to the sensory life. Now, it's also an essential part of our development of a deeper consciousness. Certain sounds or smells can signal to us we might be in danger, such as when we smell smoke or gas. A fire alarm tells us there may be a fire in the building and we should evacuate. We're getting messages all the time about sights and smells that are inviting or that tell us to be more cautious. Some of us are more aware than others, and those whose senses are keener might live longer lives, such as if you don't get out of a burning building in time, you can die. Now already we see a duality forming, good and bad, pleasant, unpleasant, safe versus harmful. And this is where we tend to get in trouble and form judgments and dismiss that which we deem to be unimportant, perhaps such as garbage. As one grows older, it's vital to develop one's own consciousness about who one is and what that means in relationship to other people and the world at large. In one way or another, we relate to everything and everybody we encounter. We are interconnected to all things and all beings. Now, once enlightened to the truth of this one sang circle image, we know that all things in the universe are non-dual, despite their different names. That this is the nature of all the Buddhas, enlightened masters, ordinary humans, and sentient beings. That the principle of birth, old age, sickness, and death operates like spring, summer, autumn, and winter. That the principle of the retribution and response of cause and effect operates like the alternating predominance of yin and yang, and that this is perfect and complete, utterly impartial and selfless. And then if you want to consider another symbol, think of, as mentioned in here, the yin-yang, where you have two opposites harmonized as one. They're not separate, they're intertwined. And I think that's a really important concept for us to really take in and absorb. Now I want to go back to that movie, Proteus, that I was talking about earlier. Throughout the movie, there were these pictures of these beautiful, magnificent, one-celled amoeba protozoa called radiolaria. They produce these beautiful external glass skeletons that look as delicate and as complicated as snowflakes. Now, despite their beauty and complexity, most are not even visible to the eye, but they're present throughout the ocean and are a crucial food source for some types of marine mammals, such as whales and some fish. And I thought, wow, how amazing that huge creatures such as whales could be sustained by food that they can't even see. But if you think about it, we can't see the vitamins that we eat. We see the food, but not the nutrition contained within. If I brought you a pail of seawater, how many of you might think, oh, that's just seawater? But there's the radiolaria. Now, I don't know if there's such a thing as nothing. I know we talk about nothingness all the time or often in Buddhism, but I don't know. But from what I can see, everything is something and everything has importance, even if we don't know or see it. We talk about spirituality and how important it is, but we can't see it. If moment by moment we could consider all that lies before us and regard it as important, and consider our relationship to it rather than this dualistic way of thinking where some things are important and others are not, how different would our lives be? As 16th century friar, philosopher, mathematician, and astronomer Giordano Bruno stated, "There is one spirit in all things, and nobody is so small that it does not contain a part of the divine substance whereby it is animated." The next time you see litter or toss something in the garbage, consider where it's going, where it came from, and the purpose it serves in your life. Thank you.